Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the basics of 3D printing. We're going to get started very first with using Tinkercad, which it's a CAD program that's online. And again, CAD, C-A-D, that stands for Computer Assisted Design. So we're starting out with this. Very first thing you need to do is type in tinkercad.com. It's going to take you not to my dashboard. Let me log out real quick. It's going to take you to a screen that looks like this. You're going to need to click sign in, and then you're going to need to click sign in using social providers, and then click Google. Then you're going to need to type in your school username and password to get logged into Tinkercad for the first time. And when it comes up, you're going to get probably a tutorial. I'm getting my desktop or my desktop where all my designs are. You're probably going to get into a tutorial. So what you can do is just click this button right here, this Tinkercad logo, until you get back to your desktop. And when you get there, go ahead and create a new design. Now, once you get to this screen, this is your workspace. So you can design anything you would like in this workspace. But the very first thing I need to do is show you a few things about this workspace. Here's the name of your work. It always gives you a crazy name. So I'm going to go ahead and name this something else first off. So I'm just going to name it my last name, God House, because we're going to make a basic house today just to learn how to use these things. Now, over here, you got a couple tools like zoom in, zoom out, change the view. You can click on this cube to change your view. But you can also use your mouse. You can click the right mouse button to change your view. And that's going to rotate in space. You can click the left mouse button to select different items. But you can click the wheel in the middle of your mouse to move left, right, up, down if you'd like to do that. And you can actually move the wheel forward and backward to zoom in and out. So now that you have the controls, let's look over on the right. You got a couple different tools that we'll get into later, but for right now, we're looking at basic shapes. We're going to use those today. You can see there's a lot of different shapes you can use, different items you can use, text, symbols, but we're just going to stick with basic shapes for today. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to drag out a box and just stick it on our work plan. Now I'm going to zoom in and get a better view of this box here. But if you click on the shape, you'll notice you can click on it and move it around with your mouse. You can also click on it and use your arrow keys to move it around. There's a lot of different options that you can use that are already on the box here. These arrows, you can click on those and it allows you to rotate your box. You can rotate it in space any way you'd like to, along the x-axis, the y-axis, and the z-axis. You can also click these black boxes here to lengthen or change the shape of your box. You can click the white arrows to change it proportionally. Same thing here. You can make it taller by clicking that. And then this little black triangle, you can move it up in the air in space. So that's pretty cool. So a couple things you need to know is first, anything you're going to 3D print, you've got to have it perfectly set on your work plane. So this blue work plane right here, it's got to be set perfectly on that. Otherwise, it will not print. So you can see how there's a gap between my design and the work plane. That will not work. So what we have to do is get this set down perfectly on the work plane. So I'm going to grab a ruler. And there are a lot of different measurements here. But the one that I'm looking for is this one here, which shows me how far it is up in the air, the box is. It says 1 millimeter. I want to change that to 0 millimeters. So all I did was click here on this number, press 0, and pressed enter. And that made the box sit down perfectly on the workspace. All right. So I have a funny shaped box now. What I want to do is make a house. So I'm going to go ahead and take a roof and stick it out here. And I'm going to need to resize it just by clicking on these different squares just to make it big enough to fit on top of my house. So how do I get it up on top of my house? Well, I can click this black triangle and I can move it over until it's on top of my house there. And then if I want to resize it further, I can just click these squares here and resize it further. All right, so I have a roof on my house. So let's say I want to add a door. I can just get another rectangle. Say I want to make it smaller. Just click on those squares and resize it. And I can just stick it in the front of the house there. See, and I can use the arrow keys to move it around if I wanted to. So I can change the color by clicking here on this solid. Say I want to change it orange. I got an orange door. Let's say I wanted to make some windows. Say I wanted to make a circle window. I could take a cylinder out. I could rotate it 90 degrees. Let's see if I can get it 90. There we go. I could make it smaller. Woo! And I can stick it right here in the side of the house. Uh-oh, clicked on the wrong thing. Now, anytime you mess up, you can click the back button or undo button, and it'll move everything back to where it was before you messed up. So let's see if I can resize my shape here. There we go. All right, click on that black triangle, make it go up in the air. All right, so play around with this until you have a house that you like. And what I'd like you to do is just show me your house when you're finished with it. I'm definitely not finished with mine, but I'm going to go ahead and end the video here and let you create whatever house you would like. So click on any of these. Feel free to explore through the text if you want to add text to your house. If you want to add some symbols to your house, feel free to do that. But show me this on your computer screen so that I can check you off and give you the points for making your very first house in Tinkercad. All right, I'll see you on the next video.